Before and after. See a difference?
Yeah.
So the left down one was obviously your first swing there. You can see very rounded off in the back there. Getting kind of sort of like hunch over here now, make it very difficult to move, cause you to rise up, pull away from the ball and make adjustments. Obviously there was some stretching there, okay? So for me, this is great. Your arms there, I would say for me, probably a little bit too far from the golf ball, okay? You want to start your arms literally hanging straight down from the shoulders, because what will happen is now that your arms are going to want to return back to that position to control the club. Imagine sort of swinging a kettlebell, yeah? You swing your arms and hands under the shoulders, that's where your speed's going to want to come. If your arms are starting here and the club is there, if the hands come back to here, the club's going to come back to here, which is the ones you get off the end of the club, the ball just shoots off the side then, just ping, ding, ding, around the simulator there, okay? But in terms of the movement, takeaway is good. You can see now, because of that posture being better, you're not having to rise up, are you? Whereas this one, where you were kind of down there, when you went back, let's start this one. There we go. We go back to there. That's okay. There, so you watch you go back here. Now you're rising up into the backswing to try and find a position actually I can make a backswing from, because there's no way in that hunch position with the head down so much you can make any turn at all, because you've just got no real rotation at all. And again, if you're slightly stiff, and say where you're driving, you said your pelvis is tucked under, you're sat in the car, if you're driving a long way, it's so you just can sort of sink into your car, and you sort of just relax back into it, so your back will certainly get more rounded as a result of that. So golf for me is going to be something that's going to help you straighten that back out, okay? And then we can maintain it. Now, in terms of the movement through, as you go back, okay, you kind of just drop it a bit more kind of on the inside, so your club now swinging a bit more this way, which is why your shot then goes a bit more out to the right. There's not really much movement here yet, which I don't mind, because it's still fairly new to start with, okay? I want you to sort of focus on that posture and get that good. But in terms of the movement with the body, you can see your shoulders now pretty much rotated fully 90 degrees. Yeah, your sort of left shoulder and right shoulder there now are kind of like so. But you can see the hip position sort of over here, so where your belt buckle facing out there, and your foot and knees are barely moved at all. So imagine kind of how your spine's sort of a bit twisted there, sort of round here, and kind of like a bit of, it's not all kind of twisted together. So finishing that golf swing there in that position, you've got zero rotation or zero movement there. Okay, zero on there, a little bit there, a little bit more there, and 100% there. So you're finishing with the swing kind of like that. These are fully moved. This hasn't really moved at all. The knees are barely on, the foot's on the ground, rather than allowing that to happen. But this move, as we said, is just such an unfamiliar move for you to make. You've never done it before, have you? I mean, in the past, when you were stood kind of with that hunch position, Gareth, you could make that move. If you made that move, you'd probably fall over, okay? So it was just unconceivable, okay, to make that a move. Now you've got a better posture, and your body's in a better position, the rotation's more sort of able to occur. You need to sort of practice that sort of lower half. And like I say, if you can get that lower half, it turns back okay. But from there now, this right hip, right knee, and then right foot sort of start twisting round. So when you finish eventually, you'll get to that sort of finished position. Your chest will be facing the target, your belt buckle's facing the target, the knees have come together, and this right foot nose up on its toe. Eventually. That's not going to be sort of an overnight click your fingers and happen, okay? Because if you start doing that too quickly now, you probably lose a bit of balance and maybe wobble and tobble, okay? So just getting a bit more mobility there in time. If you can do that exercise there with that right foot, just learn how that right foot, right knee, hip are going to move, it'll just become more natural, yeah? I think in terms of just general exercise for your back, it'll be a benefit to you, okay? Yeah. If you sort of somebody who sits in the car and drives along where you said, your back's going to start getting more and more rounded. If we can just straighten that and start getting a bit of mobility through it, it's all going to be good for you, yeah? That kind of makes sense in terms of the movie, yeah? So yeah, posture is a big thing, as you can see. I think for me it's a very, very kind of good image there to sort of see the difference. Just the fact you've got space under your sort of mass down your chest, where that was sort of way down there, really hunched and just looking a bit kind of reachy, stretchy. So, okay, mate? Good stuff.